This is Scott Vanderplu, and you're listening to the Artist Edition Index Podcast, episode 89.
I went down to the St. James Infirmary, found my baby there, stretched out on a long white table, so sweet, so cold, so fast.
Thank you for joining me once more on this audio journey as we explore everything that's happened at aeindex.org. Lots of things, mostly solicitations this month. Big news. I can't quite remember where we left off last month. But the news last month was Scott Dunbier's departure from IDW and his taking on a new project, a new role, new opportunities. Nothing's been announced yet, so we'll have to wait and watch that. All we do see are shipping changes stacking up at IDW. No mention of replacement, but I mean, do they mention those kind of things? I don't know. IDW doesn't seem like that organized kind of place, but we'll see what occurs out of this. I guess, having said that, we should just launch right into shipping changes then. Let's hit the old site here and try that. I feel like I keep doing shipping changes every couple of days. All right, so shipping changes. So after Scott Dunbier resigned, we saw Wally Wood's, the new expanded edition of Wally Wood, drop off the solicitations. That's gone. We'll see if that comes back. And then shipping changes. Let's talk about everything that's changed this month. All right, so the She #1 30th Anniversary Original Art Edition, which was from Crusade and was the cover feature of Previews Magazine, is now, who knows, because it was a Kickstarter and a Indiegogo, and there's no date. The date is come and went. There's nothing, so it's a bit of a mystery. That's just completely disappointing. So that's TBD now. Pretty Deadly, the Shrike Vault Edition. This one's a little all over the place because it looks like people, if shops ordered it from Lunar, possibly they got it for last week, which was April 24th. And if you got it from anywhere else, and in Canada, I can't find a single distributor that lists it any earlier than April 30th or May 1st. I see some people have received it in the mail, again, but in Canada, it's not available at all yet, and I'm actually still waiting for my copy. I don't know what's going on there. So that's disappointing. All right, next up. Chris Somney's Black Widow Artist Edition has moved all the way to July 2nd. I mean, I don't get that one. Paul Smith's Uncanny X-Men has moved to October 22nd. Jack Kirby's The Eternals Pencils and Inks Artisan Edition has moved to October 22nd. Neil Adams' DC Classics Artist Edition has moved to October 29th. And Kevin Eastman's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Layouts Artist Edition has moved to December 3rd. So lots of shifting in the wake of Scott leaving. So that's interesting at IDW. Then we got a lot of solicitations this month. I think the big one, that I keep, the hits just keep on coming as far as the site and my posts go. We might as well just get into solicitations. I'm not sure of the format. We may be bouncing all over the place this month. We're not really following what I used to do or what I've done previously. So the official solicitations for Brian Boland - Batman - The Killing Joke and Other Stories & Art Gallery Edition. That's right, I emphasize all the punctuation. Brian Boland, Batman, The Killing Joke and Other Stories and Art Gallery Edition. So let me give you the blurb here. The art of Brian Boland has been a high point for comic fans for over 40 years. Scanned at actual size from the original art, this deluxe hardcover collection follows Boland's career, featuring his DC Comics work from his early 1980s covers and stories to his current covers. This once-in-a-lifetime gathering of Boland art comprises the finest presentation and the definitive compilation of his body of work. There's a lot of statements there. This will be a 280-page large format, 13-inch by 20-inch hardcover book that will include 3 2-page foldouts and 7 vellum inserts, with similar paper stock and production values to the previous graffiti designs gallery editions. And that statement is fairly interesting. Why is it only similar paper stock and production values. They must have changed printers. The last Graffiti Designs Gallery edition was in 2020. It was the Sandman Overture. And before that, it was 2018 with the Terry Moore, Strangers in Paradise. All right. Besides featuring the complete Batman the Killing Joke story from 1988, the Brian Boland Batman the Killing Joke and Other Stories and Art Gallery edition will also include an afterword by Brian Boland, an introduction by Richard Serkings, 8 pages from Batman Black and White 4, 7 pages from Mystery in Space 115, 8 pages from The Outsiders 18, 5 pages from Heartthrobs 1, another page from Heartthrobs 1, 5 pages from Justice League of America 200, 9 pages from Batman 400, more than 100 pages of black and white and color cover art from Wonder Woman, Camelot 3000, Animal Man, Robin, Batman, and much more. Miscellaneous art and pinups, including the 2-page spreads of Camelot 3000 and Green Lantern Corps from DC Comics Who's Who. Gallery of assorted UK convention pencil roughs and preliminary artwork. A new digital gallery section showcasing Boland's current work annotated by Brian. This has been solicited for, this is interesting, September 4th or September 25th. It's been solicited through Lunar and Diamond. The Lunar date is the 25th and the Diamond date is the 4th. So we'll have to see, as the date gets closer, we'll have to see who's right. Okay, it's 13 inches by 20 inches, 208 pages. It's $225 US. I've got some links up for who's it's available from. If you're in North America, I'd suggest Things from Another World. And if you're in Europe, I suggest Walt's Comic Shop, since they both sponsor the site in their own way. Yeah, I posted this information a couple months ago, thanks to Bob Chapman and the interview I had with him where he provided this info, which I'm eternally thankful for. I also managed to get the pages up online. We've got the page from the Lunar catalog, and I've got the page from the DC Connect catalog, and I will also soon have the page from the Diamond catalog. There's a bit of a delay on the Diamond. The preview. So when I initially posted this, I only had the Lunar information because every month Diamond posts the Diamond solicits, publishes, offers to retailers the previous catalog. That's the last Wednesday of every month. That's when it's out for sale. That's the physical copy. And the Friday before that is the digital catalog. So for this month, for some reason, everything was shifted a week. So the physical catalog came out last Friday. The digital catalog came out last Friday, and the physical catalog comes out today, which is May 1st. So it's a whole week late. So that threw the whole solicitation thing off, because everybody's talking about, oh man, this has been solicited, and I'm hitting up the Lunar site, and I'm looking at things, and there's nothing from Diamond. I thought, oh man, did Graffiti Designs just go Lunar only, as DC has done, And then, radio silence from Diamond, and then finally Friday comes, and boom, the digital Diamond previews catalog is up, and there it is. So it's nice to see Graffiti using both distributors, getting a blanket as much as possible. Unfortunately, because they don't use a major book distributor, that means this book will not be available from places like Amazon, or in Canada, Indigo, or in States, Barnes & Noble. It's only still through comic distributors. So I think that's still limiting their market dramatically. Now, I do like, there's a notice at the bottom of the solicitation that I didn't put in mine. Quantities are subject to allocation based on orders received by ordering deadline. So the FOC date is July 3rd at first. So July to August, August to September. So the FOC date is 2 months before. Are these already at the printer? Why would allocations occur? So that means this book is already at the printer, or is being printed, or has been printed. So they have a finite amount. Now that does spur you to make a pre-order, but I should also mention that they've never sold out. They've never had to allocate their book, maybe because of the radio silence and the popularity of Brian Boland. Maybe it will happen this time. But that's not quite what's ever happened, because Graffiti always overprinted for a long period. But because Graffiti sort of ramped down, it's not quite what it was before. Maybe this is the direction they're going. Just not have hundreds of copies or thousands of copies to the warehouse. All right. I will also mention that There will be a signed and limited slipcase edition with a limited run of 250 copies. Previously, the prices were kind of all over the place. The limited and signed slipcases were only ever available from Graffiti Design's website. And the website is a bit antiquated. As an example, they can't provide shipping to Canada for some reason. You have to place your order and then they get back to you with how much shipping is. There's been some problems with when I created an account, it added an extra character to the URL so that it didn't actually, it just took me to a page cannot be displayed error after I created an account instead of taking me anywhere. So it's got some technical issues. It's an older site. I don't think it's going to be updated. And based on what they're selling through, I'm not quite sure if it will be updated. For several years it said there'll be a sale and some other and personal collection of somebody employees from Graffiti with out of print books. None of that's ever appeared on the website. There has been some sales on eBay, but unfortunately we've never seen it on the website. So the website feels like a bit of an afterthought at this point, and so that's kind of disappointing because there's also going to be a UK exclusive cover for UK retailers that is going to be available from the Graffiti Designs website. So there's a lot to watch on the website. Don't worry. When I see those things go live, I will put a post up. But that's the big news from Graffiti Designs and probably the big solicitation this month. Now, let me get to Diamond solicitations because we might as well just keep rolling the solicitations. We've already talked about the Brian Boland Dash Batman, The Killing Joke and Other Stories in the Art Gallery edition. I know, I'm mocking the title slightly, but it's kind of ridiculous. It's way too long. I mean, did we need and Other Stories and Art Gallery edition? And I'm not, now that we're discussing this again, I'm concerned with a new digital gallery section showcasing Boland's current work. So he draws digitally and then they're going to print that and then that's going to be an artist edition? Is that really that's not original art, right? It's like anything else printed from the computer. So I'm not quite sure about that. I guess we'll have to wait and see what the book brings for us. Two other books solicited from Diamond this month. One, Dave Cockrum's X-Men Artist Edition, and this is just the Artifact Edition. Man, I am having word issues this month. This is just the Artifact Edition with a new name. Nothing additional, nothing changed. Same cover. They've just changed Artifact Edition to Artist Edition. I'll give you the highlights. No complete stories. July 31st, 12 by 17 inches, 160 pages, 150 US. Available from lots of places. But Things from Another World and Walt's Comic Shop are right up there. All right. Third solicitation. This one's exciting. We'll see how exciting it is anyways. All right. The Nancy Show, celebrating the art of Ernie Bushmiller. A companion catalog of original art, memorabilia, and more from The Nancy Show, a 2024 exhibition honoring Ernie Bushmiller at the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library Museum. This book includes reproductions from the museum show, including over 100 pieces of original art with special bonus material. This, I'm skipping some. I'm not sure. I just feel like it just keeps talking. Sure, all right. By scholars, collectors, and fans, the importance of Ernie Bushmiller's work has been acknowledged in recent years as he takes his place among the great classic cartoonists. This book is a companion catalog of artwork, memorabilia, and more. I just read that. Included, oh my goodness. There's a biography by exhibition curator Brian Walker. A collector's story by Tom Gamble gives insights on Nancy artwork and displays a gallery of dolls, toys, and other merchandise. The Nancy Show also features contributions by authors Paul Karasik and Mark Newgarden, as well as notes from Bill Griffith, Patrick McDonnell, Ivan Brunetti, and others. The book also features a collection of the best Nancy Sunday pages from over the decades, meticulously restored and printed in near full size, most never being reprinted in color before. There's a word missing there. Most have never been reprinted in color before, I would say there. This book gives comic lovers an opportunity to experience the Nancy Show exhibition long after it leaves the museum. It's a volume no Nancy fan should be without. Special bonus gift. The book includes a sheet of exclusive Nancy gift wrapping paper, suitable for wrapping the book itself or anything else one might give to a Nancy lover. This is from Sunday Press Books by way of Fantagraphics. They're doing the Sunday Press Books is now an imprint of Fantagraphics. They were an imprint of IDW, but like most people, they've left IDW. It's being released July 10th. It is 13 inches by 9 inches. It's 152 pages and it's a soft cover. And currently it's the solicitation says $22.99. Amazon says $22.99. Any catalog says $22.99. But if you go to the Fantagraphics website, it gives a higher amount. So let's hoping, fingers crossed, for the lower amount. This reminds me a lot of that Calvin Hobbes exhibition catalog that also took place at the Billy Island Cartoon Library Museum. I'm hoping it's going to be the same. Great book. Stuff we haven't seen generally. Comic strip art, original art at a very affordable price. So, all right. Awesome. Other solicitations this month. It doesn't stop, fans. I'm going to mention April crowdfunding because this book is awesome. All right. Den 2, Movovum, Edition Limitée, Grand Format Brut. A limited numbered large format 28 by 37.5 centimeter Brut Edition of 550 claimed far beyond France's borders. I think they meant my review. But anyways, the Brut edition of Den 1 allowed you to discover the artist's originals as they were, only lettered in French. To date, these are the only artist editions in the world devoted to Richard Corbin's work. Take note of that, Dark Horse, and they will not be reissued. These editions will also be accompanied by sets of goodies unlocked at the end of the campaign. After the revelation of Richard Corbin's talent and the first opus of Den, discover the masterpiece of the saga with Den 2 Movovum, considered to this day as one of the absolute peaks of the artistic career of the 2019 Angoulême Grand Prix winner. More than 3 decades after his last publication in French, and following the magnificent success of the limited editions produced for the publication of Den's first book, we're delighted to bring you Den 2 in 2 editions, most entirely from the artist's original plates. Ugh, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they just keep saying the same things over again. All right, this is being published by Delirium. It's for fall 2024. It's 150 euros. It is only, again, via crowdfunding. Oh my goodness, via crowdfunding from Kiss Kiss Bank Bank. Got the image up and such. Some nice things there. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. If you haven't checked out my Den review, please do. It's an awesome book. It's, Richard Corbin's original art, amazing. So, and if you, here's some notes actually from Delirium. If you bought the first version, or if you had some hesitations about buying it from the first version. So Delirium, they added this to the campaign. We also had to increase contributions to shipping costs because all prices have exploded. These costs include armored boxes, bubble wrap, handling, logistics, and shipping costs, each item having increased. With the editions out of format, raws are even more expensive. In short, we had to adjust and try to combine this in a reasonable and relevant way, knowing that there is no weighting criterion to refine all of this. This was in reference to someone saying their shipping costs have doubled. So it's a lot. Also, last time, this was my complaint too, stretch goals. Yes, for this campaign, we've decided to offer unlocked postcards and bookmarks to all contributors, regardless of the version they chose. Because I did mention last time, I think 60-70% of the funding came from the Brut Edition, which was the original art edition. Yet everything but the slipcase was a bonus for if you just bought the regular edition. So spend more money, fund the campaign the most, but don't get any rewards. I mean, and again, wouldn't we rather see cost reduction than additions to these, this kind of stuff? I mean, do I need another bookmark? Do I need a postcard set? No. Do I need the slipcase? Absolutely. Let's everybody do silk ribbons and slipcases for a bonus event or a stretch unlock goal, and then just skip everything else. My goodness. All right, one last solicitation this month, and that was Eric Larson's. It says Eric Larson, but then it says the title is just Savage Dragon Vault Edition Volume 1. I like the Volume 1 in there. Collecting the comics that launched one of Image Comics' best-loved characters and longest-running titles. I'll agree to the second statement, not sure about the first. Savage Dragon Vault Edition reproduces Eric Larson's artwork for 1992's original Savage Dragon miniseries, plus additional pages from the expanded Dragon miniseries that was released in 1996. This oversized 12 by 17-inch special edition includes archival quality reproductions of the artboards for every image that was used for the Savage Dragon 1-3, the Dragon 1-5, and the first Savage Dragon trade paperback, including all covers and pinups. Collect Savage Dragon 1-3, plus additional material from the Dragon 1-5. Okay. September 17th, it's been solicited for 144 pages. It's 150 US. It's available from online places. So far, only Amazon, because this is an advanced solicitation that I saw through Simon & Schuster. And I did also notice that the Greg Capullo Spawn Vault Edition 3 has been removed from the Simon & Schuster website. I should have mentioned that, when I did shipping updates, but I didn't. Interesting. Also interesting is the presentation of this. The cover looks basically exactly like how the Spawn Vault Editions look, so I'm not sure if they're just using the same artist again. I'm sorry, the same designer as did the Spawn Vault Editions. We'll have to wait and see. But interesting stuff. All right, then we had a deal alert, which is actually still going. So Chris Samnee's Black Widow Artist Edition, they did a limited. There's 150 copies with an exclusive cover. It's signed by Chris Samnee and Mark Waid. It's only available from the IDW website. And there's still 20 copies available. Let me go and have a look here. There are 21 in stock still. It's $199.99 US. And if you go to my site and click on Deal Alert April 2024, I have a 20% off coupon right there in the posting. So you want this book, you like 20% off, use my code, get yourself this exclusive Chris Samnee's Black Widow Artist Edition. It ships free in the US. But if you're in Canada, they charge $50 to send it via UPS, which I don't even know where to begin with that. So if you're going to offer free shipping, which is the cost $10 to the company to offer free shipping in the US? Can't they take $10 off shipping anywhere else as the same promotion? I mean, I looked there. UPS has 3 tiers. They could use the lower tier of UPS and ship it for $20 to $25 US to me in Canada, as opposed to picking the higher $49 tier. I'm not quite sure. I checked, the arrival date is exactly the same. I don't know what additional benefits are provided by the additional $25. A bit of a mystery, but I'd sure like IDW and actually most American retailers to offer a cheaper option. That'd be great. I ship almost everything to Europe and the US from my site via UPS because they are just the absolute cheapest way to go. All right. So that's a great deal. If you want that book, 21 copies still available and 20% off. Get the code. All right. We had a poll this month. This is back from our Patreon patron, David Jacoy. Thank you, David, as always. And this question was cheesecake, the beautiful art that makes most of the fanboys drool and make bad financial decisions. That's good, David. There are some amazing current artists famous for drawing beautiful women. Who among them deserves an artist edition of cheesecake art? So here are the 5 options. J. Scott Campbell, Frank Cho, Amanda Connor, Stanley Archer Lau, and Adam Hughes. The big votes went to Adam Hughes. Runner-up, Frank Cho. Then we got J. Scott Campbell. Then Amanda Connor and Stanley Archer Lau tied. I'm going to say because most people who get artist editions don't really like Stanley Archer Lau. He's too modern. Amanda Connor I thought was an interesting choice. I probably wouldn't have put her in here. I actually put Stanley Archer Lau. I replaced one of David's options with that. I figured Hughes would get the win. Hughes has been digital. He's been drawing digitally for years and years. And he applies a lot of textures and things that we would used to see with pencil and ink. Now he does with digital color. So I'm not quite sure how his art would present now in original art. But a collection of his older stuff would be awesome. And J. Scott Campbell. I'm not a big cheesecake fan. I like classic cheesecake. But I don't know. Anyways, interesting poll. There'll be another one next month. All right. AE format out of print sales. I decided I'm not going to read through all the sales like I do every month. I feel like, first off, I'm a fast talker, so I don't know if people actually have to slow down my podcast when I get through this, but I didn't want to do that this time. I thought I'd just talk about the highlights. What jumps out to me. Because first off, no record sales this month, which was interesting. We're used to seeing records, that's for sure. All right, let's look at some big numbers here. No big numbers. We continue to see multiple copies of Batman The Dark Knight Returns Frank Miller Gallery Edition selling. Again, there was a clear out from Creedy Designs when they closed from their large warehouse to the current small warehouse they have now. A bunch of skids of books were sold, and that was one of them. That's how they're still being so cheap. And if you notice all the sellers from California offering them cheap, that's why. Best of EC Comics Volume 1 Artist Edition. 2 copies sold for an average of $204.97. That has really come down. I don't know what's going on there. That's a book that will never be reprinted. And I think that and Volume 2, which 1 copy sold for $331, those books you need to have. We'll watch that price. Conan Red Nails continues to chug along there. There was a period where it wasn't, but $239.99 for the average of the 2 sales. Don Rose's Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck, 4 copies for an average of $179.90. That's a big price drop. It's a little surprising to me. Gene Colan's Tomb of Dracula, and 1 copy sold for $425. No surprises there. That book continues just to stay right up there at the top pricing. What else? 2 copies of Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four: The World's Greatest Artist Edition, average $336.88. That's a little up for that. Jack Kirby's Marvel Heroes and Monsters, 2 copies averaging $250. There was a book that was really languished at a lower price point for quite some time. Joe Kubert's Tarzan of the Apes, 3 copies averaging $79.49. I don't know where all these copies of Joe Kubert's Tarzan of the Apes are and why they're always so cheap. This is an amazing book. If you don't have that, please pick that up. As well, pick up the other 2, which are harder to find. But if you watch carefully and try and catch deals, you can do it. The tough one, of course, is Tarzan and the Lion Man, the last of the 3. I don't know what happened there, actually. I think that because of the previous books, I think the print number was down for that. I'm sure it would be great if publishers would provide us print run numbers. Publisher, print run. 2 copies of Mark Schultz's Innisoak Tales, averaging $274.99. That's a little bit down from where it's been, but again, a great book. Long out of print. 2 copies of Mike Mignola's Hellboy and Hell and Other Stories, second print, averaging $200. 1 copy of the first print for $299. Another book, boom, good price. High price if you're selling one. A book that sort of just floated at a lower price point. 3 copies, Spawn Vault Edition number 1, $336.66. That's down a little bit, believe it or not. That book's always hot. 1 copy of Wally Wood's EC Stories Artist Edition sold for $162.50. I think that was on the news. That there was going to be that new printing. Now that there is no new printing, will we see these prices rise again? I'll watch for next month. I think it'll take a couple months for that news to reach, and then we have to see if anything happens from that. Will we see a solicitation for that book later on? I don't know. But for now, value should be going back up on that book. So we had 3 copies of the second print averaging $152.17. If you don't have it, please pick it up. It's still, if you're a Wood fan, that's the book to have, really. That and the Anglem catalog. Really good. Walter Simonson's The Mighty Thor Artist Edition, second print, 1 copy, $189.95. I don't know. The first print just sort of languishes at under $100. I don't know why the second print. I think people think there was a variant cover of the first print. Maybe people get that confused. I see the I see the posts on eBay constantly mixing the 2 up, so that could be it. And then Will Eisner's The Spirit Artist Edition, Volume 2, 2 copies, $239.13. Of course, the best of ECs 1 and 2 and The Spirit 1 and 2, those are in my top 10 AE format books and definitely deserve to be purchased and read and enjoyed. All right, that's out of print sales. I've mentioned it a little bit, but I like to pop them in there, So the affiliate links, you click a link on my site, eBay, A-Books, Walt's Comic Shop is not an affiliate link, but they are a sponsor of the site. Things from Another World, definitely an affiliate link. And I get a percentage. So you're going to buy the book anyways. You click a link on my site. I get something. You get the book. It's win-win. There's no question. Being a Patreon patron, that's awesome. You contribute $1 or, your local currency every month. And it keeps me in books, keeps me in web hosting, and keeps the site going. Not to say that the site would stop if there was no Patreon patron. I mean, honestly. It's interesting. Patreon takes about 20%. I don't think... I was just looking at the numbers again. Yeah, they have a handling fee, and then they have a currency collection. They have like a money collection fee because they use another company to collect the money, and then actually I have to pay a transfer fee to get the money. So that's about 20%. All right, third way to support the site. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, the store. Yes, absolutely. Go to the store. That's aeindex.org/store. I have some books in there now. I've been slowly selling. What did I add recently? Oh, I added Jeff Smith's Bo and the Great Cow Race Artist Edition. This is actually my copy I'm selling. I picked up the slipcase version on eBay a while ago and realized I don't need 2 copies. It's sort of how I went with David Mazzucchelli's Daredevil Born Again as well. I have the slipcase, and for some reason I kept the regular edition. Realized I should just sell that. I've got a couple copies of Eric Powell's The Goon Artist Edition. It's a good price on the site, definitely. Frank Miller's Daredevil Artifact Edition, if you'd like to have the original before they reprinted it as Artist Edition. Got Jim Lee's Artist Edition. I have a Joe Kubert Tarzan. And also, this is it. I have John Romita's Amazing Spider-Man Daily Strips Artist Edition. I have it sealed, new. It doesn't have a box, but it's also 33% off. So lots of great prices on the store. So 3 ways to support the site. There you go. So important I couldn't remember all 3. Thank you for your support. I'd like to say to everybody, if you click a link, if you buy from the store, if you're a Patreon patron, if you share the links from the site, right? It all helps spread the word. And the word we're trying to spread is AE format books are awesome, and everybody should have at least a couple. All right, 2 reviews this month. First one, Takeo Saito Works, Duke Togo History. All original drawings are included in full size. The Ultimate Go-Go. This is all right. Big Comic and Go-Go 13. This is Taka Saito's first super gorgeous illustration art book to commemorate the 50th anniversary. A selection of extremely valuable color drawings, famous scenes, etc. from all Go-Go 13 works are carefully selected in full size. This is an unprecedented book that provides an overview of Go-Go's 50 years of history. They basically just then reiterate the same things. This is from Shogakukan. It was released on October 25th, 2017. It's 10 inches by 14 and a quarter inches. It's 152 pages. It's a hardcover. It's 6,050 yen. Little backstory here. This is my first AE format book from Japan in Japanese. There's slight English here and there. Google Translate. Thank you again. And I bought it. So this book was published, and it was about 40 US. So I saw it a couple places, and it was 40 US. It was like 35 shipping, and then Amazon and the other retailers. I was struggling with some language barriers, doing the translate in Google Chrome and such that I normally do for European sites. It wasn't working great. And then I'm on eBay, and I paid. It was 88, and they were taking an offer, so I went under 80 on that, and they took my offer, free shipping from Japan. So boom, I got it. For about the same money, but a lot less hassle. Used eBay, and got the book. It was great. All right, slideshow pictures, wonderful stuff. So Go-Go 13. I have to say, the artwork here, Saito's artwork from the 60s, 70s, and up to the 80s, pretty great. As he gets older, not as tight. Artists more sort of move into a groove, or they like to reduce their artwork. So I wasn't as fond of the later stuff, but the early stuff, man, it shines. And unfortunately, because this is a 50-year retrospective, they picked a lot of splash pages, covers, big bold images that for me that's not what I'm looking for in an AE format book. I don't want a book of covers that I'm just going to flip through. I want to see pages. I want to see panels. I want to see how small panels, how these things were developed. Right. That's what I'm looking for. And there is that provided, and that is the bulk of what the pictures I included in the review are. But just keep in mind, watch the video at the bottom of my review, and you'll see there's a lot of splashes and things that I really didn't care for. Not that it's harsh. Not that I didn't care for it. Just that's not really what I'm buying the book for, right? I love the panel pages, right? I want to see the art. I want to see how story pages. Interesting how he used how he hand colored on a lot of the boards too. Anyway, there are some great covers in here. Make no mistake, some good splashes. This is great stuff. And if you're a Golgo 13 fan, I think you have to be of a certain age because they're out of print. We actually got, what did we get? We got volumes 1 to 6 in the store from a used collection. And I was thumbing them again. I went, whoa, this is awesome. That's sort of how this whole Golgo 13 thing went down. What I'm not a fan of this book, Dust Jacket. Come on, people. Dust Jacket. And then a belly band on the Dust Jacket. Oh, just one more thing to get trashed as you try and keep the book somewhere, right? Not a good idea. All right. Awesome stuff. Then there's an interview with Saito at the back. But the way Japanese rolls, Google Translate on the phone is actually a lot of work on this interview. I didn't get through all of it. I'll try and get back to that. All right. And then we had the second book of the month, which is Arrow Sato. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. Edition Spéciale. Luxurious large format edition in black and white drawing with a numbered and signed ex libris in a limited edition of 399 copies. All right, Theodore Poussin is the character, and this is the 14th volume of the story of that, and it's done by Frank Legal, artist-writer. Great stuff. If you're familiar with Theodore Poussin, I may be pronouncing that poorly. This was released. I'm skipping the blurb here. It's just too long for the podcast. It was released January 27th, 2023. It's 40 centimeters by 30 centimeters, which is basically 12 by 16. It's 80 pages. It's 150 GSM Munken paper. It's hardcover. It's 149 euros. This came up on the forum. Somebody mentioned it as a deal. It was on sale a couple places. I picked mine up on Amazon UK. It was pretty cheap. And got it shipped. Amazon UK, ships via DHL. DHL is just a terrible courier. And I had nothing but problems. But I did manage to get the book. And the Ex Libris is nice. So it's interesting. So Dupuis does all these kind of books. And sometimes it's very hard to determine what's an AE format book and what is just black and white drawings, because the Europeans love their black and white albums and they'd like to do them oversized. They like to do them as a tirage de tête or head prints, or and they like to do these ex librises, and it may not be original art, right? It's a real struggle. This one, even though it says $399, the ex libris says it's $450. So Frank Legal has signed it. It's nice. So I've the pictures in the review, and just gorgeous artwork. It's funny, he draws everybody sort of naturalistic, and then our hero there, Theodore Poussin, just looks very lacking in detail. Right? He's got a very round head. He's got glasses, and he's got almost no features on his face. But a lot included in these art boards, right? We get a lot of pencil, the paint, we get the nice blacks with gradients. We get a blue pencil. Just we can get to view some production. Now, Dupuis does not like to include anything outside the art. So they always crop, and you just get to see the art on these kind of books. But it presents extremely well. And like I said, Dupuis, I don't get it because we have this volume, but they're also doing the Artiste Edition, right? Which is their line also from this in the AE format, and labeling it as such, easy to follow, right? But those have introductions, those have samples of artwork, those go beyond. And this book is, there's no introduction, there's no notes, there's no nothing. You just get the art, and that is all. There's one closing image, and then the colophon. It's very limited in no extras, right? Just the facts, man, just the facts. And you get the artwork. Gorgeous, though. The book is so nice. And if you get an opportunity, please order it and have a look. Especially watch for a sale. Dupuis, please help us out here. You have so many different formats of original art, AE format books, that makes it very difficult to follow. I'm on a couple of forums, and I watch French solicitations, and I get excited about all these books, and every you look and you go, black and white, black and white, black and white, black and white. And even here, right, there's no mention that this is original art. Like the catalog, like the solicitation, it's just black and white again. if they could just differentiate. Earlier Dupuis books, right? They list them as version original, and I think Edition Black and White has also picked up on that, which is awesome. But, let's try and help people out by differentiating. I always do a bad job with reviews on this podcast. It's really like this is a visual medium, right? We can't just talk about it. Go on the site, read the review, check the video. All right, that is it for this month. Thanks for listening to me go on and on and on. I didn't realize could be my longest podcast in quite a while. Hit up the site, click the links, get your stuff ordered, and enjoy the format.
Let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. She can search this wide world over. She'll never find a sweet man like me.